the other day, I was talking to my husband about how I felt as a woman just burnt out on intimacy. I'm just going to say intimacy instead of, you know, that stuff. I, as a married woman and everything, I love it. I do love it. And it's exciting those first few years of marriage because of all that. You know, I didn't wait till marriage, let's get that straight. But when you're married to somebody, it makes it more emotionally intimate. Like you are doing what you're supposed to be doing while married. Lately, after having baby number two, I'm like, you know what? I feel burnt out. Burnout. I can only imagine people having 3, 4, 5, 6 kids. When I had my kids, I had to constantly, like, just do it to just have kids, and I got that. There was a purpose and everything, but then my husband got used to all that and got used to doing it so much that he still wanted to do more, but then somewhere down the line, I just got burnt out. And we all know with moms, you know, men can work and do everything under the moon and still want it. They could be tired as F and still want it. I told my husband, I can't do that. It'll make me more tired. I can't get stuff done. And it just makes it to where, like, when I'm stressed out, I just don't want it at all. Makes my libido go low. I'm also on Zoloft. So I'm like, do you want me to be crazy? Or do y'all want me to be sane? Do y'all want me to start screaming at everybody? Or do you want me to be sane? And there's always this battle that women have to go through with intimacy. And I told my husband, you know, I feel pressured that if I don't give it to him every single night, that he's going to get somewhere else. And he's like, nah, we have our marital things that we're both okay with to substitute for stuff. And I'm not going to get into that. But he deals with it on his own, if you know what I mean. And I tell him all the time, like, I just feel pressured and it makes me not want it because it's that extra pressure built up on it. And he's like, why are you feeling pressured? And I was like, well, women, if we don't, you know, you hear all these horror stories that men leave their women because they say, well, I'm finding it somewhere else. And I'm like, that gives me pressure. Like, that makes me feel like if I don't do something, it's going to be bad. My husband's like, when is the longest we went? And it was 9 months. It was during my pregnancies. During my pregnancies, I just didn't want it. I just didn't want to be touched. I didn't want anybody holding me. I didn't want anybody rubbing on me unless I asked to. I was just touched out constantly, could not do it, did not feel intimate. Plus it kind of freaked me out. I just felt weird about it and I just didn't want to do it. And call me a prude, whatever you want, but I told my husband, it's just when you get married, it's like that's all you talk about, intimacy, intimacy. You don't have anything like even before you're married, you're talking about it 24/7 and like don't do it or if you do this, you blah blah blah, make sure you're on birth control and you hear it from like 13 on until you're married. And then when you're married, you are pressured to make sure you do it so you can have kids or make sure you do it so you keep your husband. And it's just like, ugh. But the reason why I'm saying this is that it's even in our advertisement. It's always in our advertisements, whether it's like toys, which I get that. If women who are single and need to get something going or need marital aids, it's it's that. We don't talk about, you know, like give your wife a relaxing spa day or give your wife a relaxing facial. It's always get this toy for your wife to make your marriage better. There's other ways to make your marriage better, quite frankly. It's not just that. Like there's emotional intimacy, there's non-sexual intimacy, like or affection. Like you don't have to just do the thing all the time. I want something else. I need something else. And that's why I tell my husband all the time, I'm sick and tired. That's all you talk about. Like if you're and I posted this the other day. If your marriage is 95% of you just constantly thinking about when you're going to do it next, when you're going to do it next, or you have that social anxiety of when you're going to do next, there's something wrong. You should only think about it like 5% of your marriage. And not saying have less, whatever. It's just you shouldn't have to be thinking all the time about it. It should just be something you do, okay, move on, not something that is just takes up your whole entire marriage and consumes your marriage. And not that it did with my husband, but I was just panicking one day because it was just really getting it to me. But back to the advertisements. Mama Frida, I think it's just something that's happening right now because I've never caught on to it, but it's just a lot of like visualized advertising. And I'm gonna put some photos up here talking about what was it? I already forgot, but it was all this, and I was just like, "Are you serious?" Because again, that's the last thing I was thinking about when I was pregnant. I was trying to grow a human being. I was trying to do my best. I was trying to do all the things underneath the sun, and then stuff like that pops up. I would have crashed out if I would have saw that while I was pregnant. And why is it sexualized on with kids involved? That's what I'm weirded out on. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's just a joke, like, chill out." No. When you're at this stage of motherhood where that's all you've done, like, I get the younger moms probably are laughing about it, but in your 30s, 40s, 50s, you probably are just burnt out of it and you're like, "I need something else." There's gotta be something else because it just gets tiring. It's not special anymore, you know what I mean? I told my husband, I was like, when you don't have it as much, it makes it more special. It makes it more like boom, pow, fireworks, everything. You know what I mean? And you don't need more stuff. Because trust me, there's so much that we can do that I'm sick and tired of. My body can only take so much. Okay? And I know somebody's probably gonna say you're a prude or whatever. I'm burnt out. Because I told my husband, I was like, trust me, if we get a, oh no, I never say the D word, but I was like, if you want to leave me for somebody with a higher libido, go for it. I'm just gonna stay by myself and probably be celibate for the rest of my life because that's how burnout I am on it. My husband's like, nah, I need to practice to control my urges, which thank God I married a husband with a brain and not some deviant husband that's like, no, you should have it whenever I want. It's in our marriage, it's in our blood. I don't care what the Bible says on that. I should not have to lose my body autonomy for stuff like that or for marriage. Is there like is that in my vows that I don't know about that I skipped over or something that I lose all of my body autonomy or whatever when I get married? But anywhoosies, I just wanted to rant for that. You don't have to, women. You don't have to. You can find a man that understands and respects your boundaries, especially when you've had past traumas on stuff like that. Find you a man that just is like, okay, I'm cool, I'm good. Especially a godly man that, says like, okay, and doesn't throw the Bible at you and says, you should obey me and you should do it whenever I want to. No, that's not how that works. Because I'm pretty sure there's something in the Bible that like counteracts that. That's like, no, let your wife take a break. Okay? But just wanted to put that out there and I hope this helps somebody or at least helps somebody like think through it because at first I didn't know what it was. And then I talked to it with my husband and he understood. And we both talked about it and he said, okay, no pressure. It's okay. And so I said, okay. Then it made me more and more, to be honest. But after that, I honestly felt less pressured and I like it. It's so awesome. So hopefully this helps you. Bye.